The first two books I'm going to show you are from a series, and this is from the Poppy Pendle series from Natasha Lowe. And we had one of these in a previous haul, and it's actually on the bookshelf that you can see here. This one here was like book 2 of the series, and I now have book 1. So there are 4 books in this series, and this is the first one, that's the second, and this is the 4th, so we still need to get the 3rd book. But I'll tell you a bit about this series. It's really cute. I can't wait to dive into it. Just want to see if there's any illustrations in here. No illustrations in this one. Guess I didn't need to show you that then. In the first book, we're introduced to Poppy, who was born in a bakery. And it turns out she does have magical powers like her parents. So she's inherited the traits from her grandmother. And everybody's really happy about this except for Poppy, because they're sending her to the School of Witchcraft. So she's going to Ruthersfield Academy, which is a school of witchcraft. But Poppy is not happy like everyone else. She wants to be a baker, and she decides that she is going to take control of her life, because whose life is it anyway? And it sounds really adorable. So again, that is the first book, and this is the 4th book, 4th and final book of this series. And this particular one is called The Daring of Della Dupree. Now, Della is named after the person that founded Ruthersfield Academy, and she's trying to live up to the name, but it sounds like she's a little bit accident prone. Anyway, I will let you know how this series goes, and if you've read the series yourself, please let us know down below if you like it. Okay, the next books are from a series as well, and we have 3 more from this series. And this is the Wings of Fire series by Tui T. Sutherland. And if you happen to notice my mini vlog I did where I was testing out middle grade books, the first book in a bunch of middle grade to see which ones I liked, one of those books was The Wings of Fire, which my daughter loves and begged me to read. And I'm really glad I did, because I loved it. So that was the first book we got from the library. It looked like this one. I say this because we don't actually have that book. We need to get it for the shelves. These were the ones that they had in softcover from Book Outlet when I looked, and I'm looking. Yeah, we saw book 2, book 3, and book 4. Now, in the first book, we're introduced to some dragonettes, and they live in a world totally populated by dragons, and there are different communities of dragons, all based on the type of dragons that they are, and they are warring and have been for years. But there is a prophecy that say these dragonettes, one from each different community, are going to save the world basically and stop the bloodshed. And at the beginning of the first book, we meet all the dragonettes. They are growing up and being trained under the mountains, and they've had enough of this, so they escape. And that is 2 years before the prophecy was supposed to come to fruition. I say this because they're quickly captured and by one of the vicious queens. And then we get to see them figure out what to do about the future on their own. I really like that book, and I wanted to grab some more. So again, that was number 2, and it's The Lost Heir. Number 3, The Hidden Kingdom. And number 4, The Dark Secret. Now, there's many more books in this series, so we'll try to get as many as we can. My gosh, they're beautiful, aren't they? They're just so colorful. The next couple of books I'm going to share with you are so adorable. So adorable. So it turns out I have books 1 and 3. And I guess we need to pick up number 2. But I have to say, this ticks me off. Look. Oh, even if we have them just a different size. Like, why? Anyway, there you go. There's a pet peeve. This is the first book, Heartwood Hotel, A True Home. And this is by Callie George, and it's illustrated by Stephanie Gregan. We meet Mona the mouse, who ends up at Heartwood Hotel. And Heartwood Hotel is in Fernwood Forest. I don't know why I think that name is so adorable. And she stays there and falls in love and hopes there's a place for her there. And she ends up becoming a maid. And everything seems really cozy and safe and wonderful. And then something happens that Mona has to protect the hotel and see if she can keep everything as safe and loving as she wants. Danger does lurk, however, and Mona has to use all her wits to save this hotel, and she thinks this is going to be her future home, so can she save it? And then we have the third book, Better Together, and this also takes place at the Heartwood Hotel. I mean, that is the name of the series after all. They seem absolutely adorable, and I have to say I'm getting confused as to what is considered a chapter book versus just simply middle grade. Now, to me, this seems like in between again, but if you have an opinion or understand the difference, that if there's a distinguishing line between chapter books and middle grade, you know, please let me know down below. But as of now, I'd say this is a little in between. Can I say that? Now, the next book I introduced in one of the really big, huge middle grade hauls that I did earlier this year. And it was the second book of the Polar Bear Explorers Club. Now, this is the first. It's by Alex Bell, and it's illustrated by Tomislav Tomek. And in this book, it's the first book, as I said, in the series. We're introduced to Stella Starflake Pearl, and she wants to be an explorer like her father, but girls are not allowed to be explorers. Lucky for her, her dad, Felix, doesn't go with the status quo and decides to take her to a trip up north. So Felix takes her to a trip to the snowy Icelands, and Stella leaves home her polar bear Gruff and her magic unicorn, and she heads off with her dad. And when she gets there, there's other kids like her as well, and they end up getting separated from the adults. And Stella uses this as an opportunity to prove that a girl can be an explorer. And I can't wait to read this series by myself, and especially with my daughter. I love it when they throw girls in these type of roles. I just noticed my chair is it's my ergonomic chair, so I think I might be going back and forth in this video. I hope when I edit it's okay. The next book I'm going to show you is Greystone Secrets, The Strangers. This also is a series, but this is the first book in the series. And this is by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And in this book, we meet three children. One, the oldest, Chess, and he has two younger siblings, Emma, who loves math, and Finn, who likes to act silly to be adored. It's just the three of them and their mom. Something strange happens. They have the exact same name as Chess and his brother and sister, and weirder still, the exact same birthday. And when they go to ask their mom what is happening, she mysteriously takes off for a long work trip. And you see the kids solving puzzles and going through crazy doorways and different things to try to figure out what is happening and what this mystery is all about. And it does say on the back that everything's leading to a dangerous secret that will turn their world upside down. Okay, and the final book is the second book in a series, and this is called The Key of Lost Things. And the first book you might have seen in another big haul that I did, it was The Hotel Between. We actually had this in our May basket, Family Reads basket, and ran out of time to read this. And I admit my daughter isn't as interested. She doesn't seem to, I've tried to read this 2 different times to her, and she doesn't seem as interested in this book as I do. So I've decided that I'm going to read this on my own. I'm sure that she'll be interested in this at a later date. The writing style is amazing. It caught me right away. Every time I picked it up, I just wanted to devour this book. I thought it was brilliant in terms of writing style, and the vivid pictures that developed from the writing style sounded just amazing. I was happy to see the second book show up at Book Outlet, and this one is called The Key of Lost Things. Now, in the first book, we meet siblings, twins who have lost their mother and father, have disappeared. And one twin believes that they're gone forever. And the second twin believes that they will be able to find their dad. And they discover this world in between. And in the first book, I guess it's about them trying to find their dad. And they end up in this magical world to do so. And let's see what happens in this book. So in this book, Cam has been named concierge in training, and he's been trying to keep the hotel safe. And he's been trying to keep the hotel safe specifically from his buddy. And he says, you try to find 50 cats scattered all across the world, and also his sister Cass. So Cam is trying to keep the hotel safe and not let it fall into the wrong hands. And if he could, you know, keep control over his sister and his friend, he might be able to do so. Yeah. Because, of course, if he fails, the hotel will be lost forever. Look at the covers of these. Do you cover buy? How many times have you fallen for a book you get based on the cover? Okay, these are definitely gorgeous. I will say that the writing style thus far has not made me regret my decision, not even a little bit. Okay, those are the books that I have to share with you in this haul. If you saw any you'd like or were introduced to a new series you might want to try out, please let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, hit like, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like it. And I will see you soon with another bookish video.